Alright, what's up, folks? So I just got home from work at the mall for my second job. I have two jobs. Um, yeah, for those of you who don't know, I work at a TV station for my full-time adult job. And I work at Hollister just for the sheer comedy of it. So yeah, anyway, so I just got home from Hollister. And checked the mail, and lo and behold, I got a package in the mail. And so now I officially have the entire Sega Visions catalog. So I figured I'd just go through my collection right now. For those of you who haven't watched the episode with the video game historian or whatever, he did an episode in the midst of my collecting, which kind of threw a wrench in the system because I had like 3 or 4 issues left to get whenever he did that episode. And from that point on, all those issues kept on coming up in lots. And so finally last week I just broke down and bought a lot to get the last issue that I needed, because all the rest of these were bought as single issues before he did that. But without any further ado, so here's a Sega Visions issue 1. See, it's got Michael Jackson and Spider-Man, Ghostbusters. That guy, is that Altered Beast? I think that is. But anyway, yeah, that was a fun issue. It's mainly just Master System and Genesis. We got issue 2, which has Strider as the cover. Never played Strider, so I'm not really sure. So it comes with all the original inserts in this. And every single one of these issues is clean. I mean, I went through great lengths when I started this acquisition to find clean copies of each magazine. And so every issue that I have is really, really clean. I mean, this is basically showroom quality. The pages are crisp. There's no bends. There's no discolorations. I mean, this is a pristine magazine. Okay, so issue number 3, Sega Sports with some stupid Joe Montana football game on the cover. Like, who cares? Like this one, it came with trading cards. So, yeah, you can get trading cards for different characters. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. So we got the Game Gear introduction issue. There was a lot of talk about Game Gear in here, and what it could do and that kind of thing. Then the Sonic the Hedgehog introductory issue. So introducing you to Sonic the Hedgehog, what to expect, what is he, and things of that nature. Yeah, there we go. So, pop quiz. What does the word Sonic mean? How fast does sound travel? Who was the first human to travel faster than sound? Who was the first animal to travel faster than sound? I'm not going to give away the answers. You can look them up yourself. This is the last issue I finally got today, the Toe Jam and Earl issue. Every single time this came up on eBay, it was in a lot. So I finally just said, F it. I'll buy the lot. Screw it all. Oh, this has Streets of Rage in it. Interesting. Okay. We got the Sonic Comes to the Game Gear on that issue. Then we've got inside info on the Sega CD. Kid Chameleon on the cover. Introducing game ratings behind the scenes at Sega. But this is the very first mention of the Sega CD and the Sega Visions. Okay, then we got the sneak peek at Sonic 2. Is that NBA Jam? No, it's just some NBA game. Then we got the official Sonic 2 issue. Let's see. This was the very first one I bought when I started collecting these in 2013, 14. I mean, it's been about an 18-month process to get all these. The Sega CD issue. I wanted to buy some magazines that, had Sega CD on the cover, and so I got this one. Now, to go back a little bit further, though, I mean, I did have 4 issues in the 90s when this was originally released, but those were just trash beyond comprehension, and they just didn't hold up at all. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition on the cover. Pretty cool story about that. Oh, here we go. Jurassic Park on the cover. Pretty cool story about that. I'm a big fan of Jurassic Park, especially the Sega CD version. The Sega CD Jurassic Park was just phenomenal. Here we got Echo the Dolphin on the Sega CD. They broke it up into sections. So the first section was Genesis, and then Sega CD, Final Fight on the Sega CD, and then Game Gear, and then they would put the sports games by themselves at the end. Speaking of which, we got a Sega Sports issue. Like, who cares? Nobody plays freaking sports games. Nobody plays this crap. But, what was that? I thought I saw Mad Dog in there on the Sega CD. Okay, Sonic Spinball. I mean, these are starting to get pretty thick. I mean, these are pretty expansive issues once they started hitting their stride in the mid 90s. Eternal Champions on the cover. Okay, so this is the first issue that I got. Sonic 3 when I was a kid. This is the first issue I got when I was a kid. The Sonic 3 issue. Yeah, this was the introduction to the 32X issue. Okay. Here we go. Cover story is the Sega Channel. Remember that, guys? Remember that? I do. I didn't have anything to do with it, but I remember it. Let's see. Fahrenheit cover story. Sega CD game. Oh. Clay Fighters. They say it's on Sega CD. I don't think it ever came out on Sega CD, though. Interesting. Soundtrack would have been good. This is another issue that I had when I was a kid. The Doom issue. I remember I was really excited about this issue. My mom hated it because the demons on the cover. This is the third issue I had when I was a kid. The Sonic and Knuckles issue. And by far, I think this is the biggest issue that they released. I mean, this thing is a monster. A lot of good stuff. And this is the last issue I had when I was a kid, the Penn and Teller issue, which is kind of interesting because yeah, this one has a dust cover or whatever, nail flap. But yeah, Penn and Teller is on the cover of Sega Visions. There's a big expose on the game in here, whatever you want to call it, and the game never was released. It never came out. Whatever. Then they took a few months off. This one, Penn and Teller, was released February, March of '95. Oh, well, I guess they didn't take that many months off because this one came out in May '95. We got the Saturn sneak preview issue. Open it up, you see an ad for the Saturn. And then, no, that's when they took a few months off. They took a few months off, and then the very final issue, Virtua Fighter for the Saturn. Oh, kicks on 32X. It wasn't even for the Saturn. It was for the 32X. Virtua Fighter 2 for the Saturn. So Virtua Fighter 1 for the 32X, Virtua Fighter 2 for the Saturn. So that was the very last issue. By far, some really exciting stuff. I'm glad to finally have every issue released. Because, I mean, this is a lot of nostalgia reading through the ones I did have. A lot of nostalgia. For those of you who didn't know, Sega Visions was basically the mouthpiece of Sega. There's not any real critical reviews of anything in this because basically the magazine was just an advertisement. It's just one big commercial, and that's what it was set up to be, was one big commercial. So it was funded by Sega, and so it's very skewed in Sega's favor. But I mean, there's really no reason not to be skewed in Sega's favor. Sega was a great company. So there's that. But yeah, so there's all the issues. I finally have the entire thing. If you want to ask any questions about anything, hit the comments section. But yeah, I'm just really excited to finally have all these. So thanks for watching.